so just like everybody yesterday, I want Rebecca to always introduce me. That makes me sound way cooler than I am. Okay, so as Rebecca said, it was a little different. You know, Rebecca has a lot of people she's talking to right now, but actually I don't watch television, ever. Literally, I haven't watched television in probably a decade. I was at work, and a couple of nurses were talking about The View, which I had no idea what it was. I had to ask people what it was. So, and I heard about this beauty contestant whose name is Kelly Johnson, and she was Miss Colorado, being told that, you know, oh, look at her, she's wearing this terrible outfit. What do you mean nursing is your talent? How did she expect to win? You doing a monologue and wearing scrubs and a stethoscope. And I went, you know what? You are a woman, or you are a group of women with a huge platform to do such good things for other women. And nursing is a female-dominated profession. And this is what you choose to do with it. No, that's not nice. And actually, our nurses in Show Me Your Stethoscope were able to see their power and, frankly, their voting bloc when Johnson & Johnson and about 8 other major advertisers actually pulled their advertising dollars from The View because we said, no, that is not appropriate. So, background on Janie, I am a regular staff nurse at a regular VA hospital in the regular Midwest. I am not special, and it could have been any of you who actually did this. So that's why Rebecca actually wanted me here, because you don't have to be someone with some particular very focused talent or anything else to be an entrepreneur. You have to have a good idea, a lot of heart, and be willing to break your back. So that's where we are today. Okay, so I'm going to assume that this button advances things. No. There we go, so that's the whole Miss Colorado thing. So 8 days from the day I started Show Me Your Stethoscope, 850,000 people. I say, oh God, what am I gonna do with this? And this has never happened before. We're actually the largest active Facebook group there is. They have changed policies and functions on Facebook because we exist. Because no one was more surprised than me. But it's not just nurses. We said, are you a healthcare provider? Are you a physician? Are you a nurse? Are you in an allied health profession? Are you a paramedic or an EMT? Come and show me your stethoscope. Let us be United Healthcare, which we did. Not, United Healthcare, but United Healthcare United. Would that be better? There was a huge outpouring of support, truly. Okay, I'm not really smart enough for this remote control. Okay, there we go. So again, I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? And what we had to do was figure out who wanted to be involved, how to create a sense of unity, because that was the big thing. I mean, we had RNs, LPNs, master's degrees, associate's degrees, diplomas, tech schools. We had all these people, different educational levels, different philosophies, and what we wanted to do was get them united behind one thing: nursing, behind patient care, behind the right things to do. Okay? Sounds easy, right? Because we're all in the caring professions, and we just, we're obviously going to be that way. That is so not true. Nurses are extremely stubborn folks, and especially me. It is very, very difficult to get nurses to unite behind anything, but somehow this has happened. And the things we've been able to accomplish since September 15th, 2015 blow my mind every single day. First order of business was, hi, I'm Janie, I created this group, could somebody please help me run it? So my one talent is being able to figure out people that I think are going to do a good job. Always been good at that. And I managed to put together this unbelievable team that works completely on a volunteer basis because they believe that this is what nursing needs, that we need an organization that actually represents all of us, and not just nurse practitioners, not just licensed practical nurses. It's huge division. We have too much division in nursing, and if we could just all be one organization, we would have so much power that essentially hospital lobbyist organizations would be thoroughly and completely screwed. Okay. Received that photo the day after all that happened. So I just love it, so I wanted to show it to you. Basically, it's pretty. Okay. It also represents what we got from other organizations, went out and did specific pictures just for us. I have pictures of a doctor with like 47 stethoscopes hanging off of him. I have a picture of an OR nurse, a pediatric OR nurse, who was crying, and it said, "Because you can't save them all." That speaks to every nurse that exists, okay? And these are the people who are part of Show Me Your Stethoscope. So we set a sense of community. We nailed it all down and said, okay, you can't do these things, but please do the rest of these things because you're adults and we don't want to be too, sticky about that. Then we asked them what they wanted to do. Overwhelmingly, nurses are concerned about safe staffing, because if somebody works in a hospital that is completely safely staffed and they do not live in California, raise your hand. Ooh, radio silence. Okay. So that's what we did. And one of our next, well, honestly, our next big thing became, okay, how do you want us to address this? Members, tell us what to do. Everything we do in Show Me Your Stethoscope is completely nurse-driven. We do not ever just say, hey, we're gonna do this because I want to. Never. We say, what do you think about this? Would you be interested in participating in such a thing? And the answer is always overwhelmingly yes. Because they want to do good things, they just didn't know anyone to help them do good things. And now we have this organization, which is, it's home for a lot of people. They have their nursing colleagues and then they have their SMYS colleagues. Totally different opinions from all over the country, practice differences. It's really a very good vehicle for helping further nursing practice and further nurses, which, I know we're all supposed to be very giving and angelic and such things, but, I like to make money and raise a family and get days off. So, and I think probably most of you do too, and it's really important for us to connect with nurses elsewhere to improve our own lives. So, mission and goals, totally member-driven, all of it. I'm just not that smart. I don't do all those things, okay? Let's see. Oh, okay, created value. So what we did was we had a small fundraiser in the beginning, and we gave stuff away for 6 months. That's what we did. How can you afford to give stuff away for 6 months? What we did was we had the members give stuff away for 6 months. Not in a bad way, okay? So one of the things up here is Janie's harebrained ideas. This is actually a corporate term at Show Me Your Stethoscope, because I come up with these ideas and I go, Shalil, I want to do this. And he says, okay, wait, we're doing this and this. And I go, no, wait, we have to do this as well. These children in Bangladesh need nebulizers. And he goes, okay, how are we gonna do it? And I tell him how we're gonna do it, and then he goes, all right, and he runs out of the room because he wants to make sure that he isn't hit by the flying people that are going to come and help me do this. Okay? Because it always happens that way. So, giving the members decision-making ability makes them feel like they own it. And the thing is that they do own it. Not that there's very much to own at Show Me Your Stethoscope, but they do own it, okay? Empowering our member base, again, had to do with giving things away. We adopted 30 healthcare families for Christmas They were begging me for more. We did this out of direct donations by Amazon wish lists, became members of the Amazon affiliate program, and made money off them buying stuff. Okay, so we could continue our work. We fed a Bangladeshi orphanage for a month with the money that we raised for that. Baby Ryan was a child who couldn't stand any cloth against his skin. He had graft versus host, if you're familiar. And though he has passed away, we bought him an entire wardrobe of bamboo clothing. Baby Jude is in a hospital here in Boston right now. Another leukemia baby, I think. So all of these things that we've done made the community feel extremely close. These people are pals. They are buddies online, and it makes it a lot easier to get them to come out into the real world and do things where we're going to transition now. We created an organizational structure, created regional and national, oversight. There we go. Sorry, stroke, I think. And then, so we created regional, national, and state level oversight, and got people organized into their state level organizations so we could do things on a local level. So instead of being just a Facebook group, at that point we transitioned into a real live nursing organization. Now there are different definitions for real live organization. One of them is that you pay dues. They don't have to pay dues except the dues that I'd like them to pay, which is out in the field doing things to change nursing. That's paying your dues too. I don't have to have $450 a year per person. What I have to have is people who want to get their boots on the ground and help change things that are bothering them. So we've partnered with many different organizations over the course of this 9 months, by the way. It's been 9 months since all this happened. Kaplan, Walden, the Illinois Nurses Association, Hire Nurses, of course, Rebecca. I mean, who would want to partner with Rebecca? Okay. Springer Publishing, a bunch of our leaders and members actually blog for Nurse Buzz. So we give them ad space, or we give them content, and they give us money, give us services, give us stuff to give away. Because it's, we're a startup, we're poor, it's okay. We've been doing just fine for 9 months. Okay, the next thing that we did out in the real spaces after we organized people into states was we decided to take DC. There's some legislation pending, which is, by the way, going to die in committee this year, but we knew that when we started, for minimum safe nurse-to-patient ratios in the hospital. There was an organization who was trying to do this. We were able to help them do it on a larger scale. We got some pretty decent press, though one organization did actually, news organization actually just put a picture of NNU nurses up at some other thing and said it was us. But that's okay, we're all wearing red shirts. We're good with NNU, whatever. We're actually able, our organization is able to trend on Twitter at will. So if we want something to trend on Twitter, it happens, period. There are enough of us that when we've educated our nurses to using Twitter, we're starting on Instagram, it's a little harder. I learned how to make an account. So we can actually do that at will. We actually made ANA trend, making a point, by doing it ourselves. We eventually got them to acknowledge that we existed, which was cool, on Twitter, which was very nice. Pam Cipriano, I'm sure, is a very nice lady. They're just not, the ANA is the ANA. They have to go the way the money goes, so we got it. And I'm going to tell you the Southwest Airlines story because everyone loves the Southwest Airlines story. When we were going to DC, my plane was delayed, and I had to actually speak at pre-rally events before we, the night before we were having our political rally. And they delayed my flight, and then they delayed my flight again. And Show Me Your Stethoscope got on Twitter and bullied Southwest Airlines into putting me on a flight that would get there on time. That's a lot of folks, guys. I mean, that's a lot of people. There were somewhere in the neighborhood of like 25,000 tweets. Get Janie to DC. Really? And I think they threw somebody off the plane because there was not a single spot. I was like, wow, this is an absolutely full flight. Now, of course, my husband and my son had to come later, but that was okay. You know, I didn't want, anyway, I got lost and there was another airport. Mistakes were made. But, but the point is that nurses are more powerful together than we are separately. And you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to do things that are, you know, that are good for you and your career and good for patients. A lot of times entrepreneurship in nursing is actually born out of some need that you have. One of the needs that I personally have, not for myself, because I work in a specialty area and I'm adequately staffed generally, is this. My need is to help patients in the hospital be safe and in long-term care. So this is the need I am filling by doing Show Me Your Stethoscope. By the way, put that date in your phone. I will expect you all. Okay, so there's our Bangladeshi mom and her nebulizer. These are some of the things we have going on pretty soon. We're going to Haiti in September. We just did our fundraiser for the Orlando, I call it a massacre, victims. We've been sending lunch to firehouses and blood banks and stuff. Because, you know, that's as close as we can get. So we try to do stuff for the people that are actually there and not some random GoFundMe, okay? We have given out a couple of scholarships, and we actually have scholarships coming out with hire nurses, daily nurse, and that is Springer? Springer? Yes, sorry. I don't do that part, I'm not good at it. We have a whole bunch of other stuff in the works. It's just, it's based on harebrained ideas, cash flow, and, you know, whether or not I'm paying attention mostly. We have a huge nursing advocate that's coming out for our 2017 rally, which will be a fun surprise, and you will definitely hear about it. We have scheduled patient safety walks around the country for this year, and we're going to save Pat, who is our patient accidental tragedy, who is a mannequin, who's quite frightening looking, just saying. Pat's downstairs. It was basically an Olympic torch idea. And we have gone from one nurse asking people to show her their stethoscope to having a patient safety conference and gala next year in DC. So that's a really quick year. So whatever it is that you think that you want to do, don't give up, don't let it frustrate you. Surround yourself with awesome people, and, you know, frankly, just show me your stethoscope.
Everybody get